February 6th, 1788. Massachusetts becomes the sixth state to ratify the Constitution after they deem it just racist enough. Welcome to The Revisionists. I'm Brian Flynn.
I'm Zach Powers.
And our guest tonight is a mainstay of the Denver comedy scene, Mr. Jordan Dahl.
Hello. I'm a mainstay.
I think you've earned that by this point.
Thank you. That might be the first time anyone's ever said that.
Yeah, because no one uses the word anymore.
No. I've been nothing but impermanent.
Sorry, I'll read a transient of the Denver comedy scene.
Yeah.
You're the Brigadoon of the Denver comedy scene.
I do fade in and out of existence.
And you are performed in many high schools.
Yeah. I love your podcast already.
Well, that's basically par for the course.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, well, that's basically it. Yes, we nailed it.
We'll be repeating this for 35
5
minutes.
stars? They talked about Brigadoon for...
Send the check. We talked about Brigadoon for less than a second.
I get the feeling that that wasn't an exceptional... Was that a record breaker for time it takes you guys to get to Brigadoon? I imagine it happens every episode.
Basically.
Usually it takes about 100 years.
Yeah?
Loved it. Classic Brigadoon. Ring the bell. Put it on the board.
Yeah.
We did it. Well, if you're joining us for the first time, you are very confused right now.
Yeah. Especially if you don't know what Brigadoon is.
If you're joining us for the first time, you are now Wikipediaing Brigadoon. Let me explain a little bit about this show. Every episode, we take a topic from history. One person presents the actual history, and one person presents an alternate history. And the winning story becomes our accepted history of the world. This episode, Zach will be presenting the actual history of the Viking raid at Lindisfarne.
Yeah.
And I will be presenting the alternate history.
Sounds correct so far. A+.
If you listen to our last episode, The Fall of Rome with Byron Graham.
It's a good one.
It's a very good one. The winner with flying colors was Zach's alternate history, which established that Rome fell because of an Ocean's 11 style heist.
Sure. Yes.
Including Jesus.
Jesus was in on that. Yeah, obviously.
Constantine's son.
Mm-hmm.
Nitroglycerin Nick.
Yeah, we all know the story of how it happened.
Yeah.
And of course, Jesus was a con man, Quick J. Christ, which I think that might that might affect history going forward.
It could. I did establish that Christianity is a con religion.
A very long con.
Quick J, he's the best.
Uh-huh.
What a pro.
Oh, yes.
The old gaslight.
And he's committed the old gaslight. I don't know if that's gaslighting.
The oldest gaslight.
The old...
Before gaslights were actually a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I might not know what gaslighting is.
I don't think you do.
All right. Well, it seems pretty brazen of you to say. If you guys hear shutters gently clicking together, it's because I'm watching my car. Because I parked in a dangerous spot. Because I'm a renegade.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm a
play by
maverick.
man's
He
laws.
parked in midair.
Yeah, exactly.
Or God's laws, apparently.
I parked inside a different car.
Oh, sexy.
I parked in the Maverick parking on the roof. Just you know how there's that sign on every rooftop that says Maverick parking?
I've not seen that sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you don't park on roofs.
If you can,
Yeah.
because you're not a Maverick.
Yeah.
If you can find your way up there, you can park there. I could show you, but you might not survive it. It's a lot of barrel rolls.
A lot of barrel roll.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some sort of cheat code
Sure.
involved. You have to have your Game Shark in your car with
Yeah.
you.
You got to plug it into the 8-track. What are kids listening to? You got to plug it into the hit clip.
You have the old Fit Hit.
Yep, the Fitbit.
The old...
Yeah.
The Bitcoin.
Brian mostly parks in the designated milquetoast parking lot, where there's significant room between each car when you're parallel parking.
Yeah.
It's like
Very, very cautious.
And
You
they
could
paint all the cars beige for you.
It's like in the median of an interstate. So wherever you get out of the car, you're just like, oh no, oh I can't, oh jeez.
Yeah, and it's only in front of a Panera Bread.
I'll park there.
That's the only place I could park.
Across from a Banana Republic.
Exactly. Oh, there's a Banana Republic now.
Eat lunch at Panera
Finally
Bread.
get those chinos you've been eyeing.
Go to Banana Republic for dessert. They got good bananas.
Exactly.
Terrible Republic.
Covered in cinnamon sugar.
You know, it has always bothered me that they named a clothing store, I think, exclusively for white people after a failed state.
Sure.
Manipulated by white people.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's very upsetting. Well, Zach, if you'd like to start in with the actual history.
Yeah, sure. So guys, Lindisfarne.
He said as he lazily pulled a sheet off of a diorama.
There's a
I made
PowerPoint.
this out of popsicle sticks.
Well, guys, Lindisfarne.
There you go.
I'm in.
They didn't-
I'm in.
They didn't have all the right minifigs.
They
so
never do.
just-
Lindisfarne, for those not in the know, was a tiny island. I guess, it's still there. It didn't get eaten by the sea. Yes. In the northeast of Britain, where a monastery stood. I think it's still, I saw some pictures. It looked like it was still doing all right.
Post-Vikings?
Post-Vikings,
Doing
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Score one for J.C. Quick.
It was a holy pilgrimage spot. It's where this saint named Saint Cuthbert was buried.
I've heard of Cuthbert.
Yeah. Elijah?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Cuthbert.
She was a saintess.
Yeah.
Satanist.
I looked up this guy and like basically what he did was like he saw a vision when he was like 19. He was like, oh, I should be in the clergy. And then he was a hermit. So I guess the bar for entry into sainthood was pretty low
Yeah.
back in the day.
God, Cuthbert's a bummer of a name, huh?
I know. And people like pilgrimage to
Well,
this
that was
site
one of his
too.
miracles, was that he survived.
He survived
with that
having
name.
the name Cuthbert.
I think there had to be more to him because people like pilgrimage to this site. Like maybe he had that
haircut that came
good
with
chronic,
it.
maybe.
Yeah.
Or he was funny or something.
He had a real good smile.
Yeah.
He-
Dreamy eyes.
Yep. He always had shrimp cocktail at his parties.
They
Just
sell
something
those
like-
posters of Cuthbert
Yeah, he,
with him like stretched out.
Yeah.
on the hood of a Lamborghini.
Yeah,
He invented Lamborghinis. That's what he did. That was his miracle.
You know that move where someone stretches out on the hood of a Lamborghini? There's a reason that's called the
Classic party
Cuthbert.
move. The party's not over till someone stretches out on a sports car.
So basically, this place was prime located for, it was basically the closest thing to Norway crossing easterly. Around this time, the Norse people had developed these long ships that essentially were really good for moving quickly across open sea, but also navigating tight passages, kind of. It didn't mean to sound sexual, but kind of efficiently.
Yeah, long ships.
Navigating the tight passages. The tighter the better. That's what the Vikings said. Cracking crevices.
Basically, they had done a few sojourns out to this area before the actual raid. There's one story I read in 789, I guess. This guy, the King's Reeve, which was a term I was unaware of.
Sure.
But it's like a little town president. A mayor, I guess you would say.
Town president.
Oh, I would have said mayor until I heard the term town president. No, it's never going to be anything but town president for me.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think we can even go smaller. You're mad at a restaurant, like, bring me the restaurant president. The Reeve.
The Reeve.
Bring me Mr. Denny's Reeve. I'm displeased with this eggs over my hammy.
You will face the king's justice.
He was supposed to meet the king or some shit. I don't know. He was going on some trip.
He was going a reeving.
Yeah. And he saw these ships in the harbor, and they were long ships, but he just assumed, oh, this must be my transportation. So he went out to meet them.
Whoa.
And then he did not come back from that particular voyage.
Holy moly.
This is my Uber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Did they destroy him? Did they Viking him into
I mean,
oblivion?
I don't know,
Into
but
a
I
fine
want to
pink
say
dust? A fine pink Christian dust?
the records are spotty. He did not, maybe it was a sick ass party and he was like, hey,
Sure.
this is my life now.
Did you guys ever watch Vikings? The
On
show?
History Channel.
I don't
Yeah.
think I did.
Yeah.
I know from that what happened to him.
Oh, yeah?
He went on to star in a further 2 seasons.
Loved it.
They took him back and turned him into some sort of a Viking.
Into a recurring guest star.
Yeah.
That's that's his SAG credit, I
He
think.
was kind of their podrick. He was like a manservant.
Yep.
Or they were just like,
Or
hey, we're going to take your money and throw you in the ocean?
Or they just ground his bones to make their bread.
Sure.
One of the two.
Also a good
A
move.
classic
Vikings
Viking
Giants?
move, yeah. Grinding their
Fee,
bones.
fi, fo, fum and all that.
Yeah. Prior to the actual raid, there were also apparently ill omens.
The illest omens.
Nas appeared.
Yeah, it was Nas's first album.
Yeah.
They claimed that there were famines. That may have been true. And that dragons flew overhead.
Whoa.
I'm less certain of that one.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe the two were connected. Nas riding a dragon. The crops withering in his wake.
Not like his later stuff better,
Yeah.
where he's not spreading pestilence
Sure,
over a
sure.
countryside.
Yeah, where he
I don't
stopped being one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yes.
The fifth horseman.
Yeah, where it's Nas.
Yeah, everybody knows.
DMX.
Death,
Yeah.
war, famine, pestilence, and Nas.
Yeah, yeah.
Eventually, in 1793, a
793?
Oh.
793. It did not take
Like
1,004
1,000
years. Big gap, big time gap here. Jumping forward a little. A host of longships appeared off the shore of Lindisfarne, the monastery, and a bunch of burly dudes got out and were like, "What's up, dudes who run the monastery? We're taking your shit and killing some of you." My understanding was it was only men who ran the monastery. I guess the church didn't think women were up to the task of looking after a pile of rocks, but that's how it was back in those days.
And probably a little bit still today.
Probably so.
Sure. Do you know how many people they killed? Did they kill everyone?
The records are spotty.
Okay.
The record keeping in 793 was
Come on,
not
Vikings.
great. I mean,
was
it said
mostly dragon related.
there was. I know
They saw a dragon.
they
No
claimed
dragons today.
there were some stabbings, there were some drownings. A few people they forcibly penetrated
Oh no.
because apparently man-on-man sex was pretty common in Viking culture. I mean, so
Oh,
they
God.
did that.
Oh boy.
And then some
Oh,
people,
man.
it says, they just strip naked and sent outside, like a high
Sure.
school prank. Like,
Yeah.
really a
Yeah.
gulf in the punishment. Some people got pretty lucky.
It's one of those things where you gotta be like, come on, a god, any god. Your boys are down there getting humiliated.
Yeah.
Where's your god now? We brought ours. Its
Yeah.
name is an axe.
And it's, I mean, it's considered the start of the Viking era. It's the first major raid that was committed by the Vikings.
Yeah.
And, about
Big win for them.
250
Put a W in the
years.
Viking column.
Mm-hmm.
250 years of Viking.
Also in the forced
Fun.
man-on-man penetration column.
Well, any W for a Viking is a W from forced man-on-man
Yeah,
penetration.
sure.
That was the Viking motto
Yeah.
till Christianity
But
came.
that began the whole Viking streak.
It's the first major raid, recorded raid of the Viking era.
Now, what was the time period between when they captured the man who thought it was his taxi
Yeah. Yeah.
and the
confused
and the
tourist,
actual
yes.
raid?
4 years?
4 years.
Guess they were probing a little bit,
Sure.
seeing what they could do with those ships.
If you know what I mean.
Daddy got him a new Ferrari. You got to test it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so.
They had fun.
Yeah.
One of the big treasures at Lindisfarne was
Well, there's
the-
the Lindisfarne Gospel,
Yeah,
which
that's
they
sort
did
of-
not take. They overlooked that bad boy.
right.
And they also didn't take the coffin or remains of St. Cuthbert because I think they knew he was a fucking joker who didn't do anything.
Really?
Yeah.
So his dead body isn't even worth it. Your
Yeah.
dead body's only worth something if you accomplished.
We too have the name Cuthbert in our culture. It is also a curse. This man must not be touched. He has suffered his due.
Yeah.
Leave him be. That was, I don't know what. That was more of a
These
Kennedy
are-
act.
these are,
That was a Quimby.
Is
I
a
don't-
Cuthbert
was
here?
Quimby there?
I can smell it. Quick, run for your lives.
Say Cuthbert.
But tragically, I mean, they don't even know if it was Norwegians for sure. They called them Northumbrians at the time. So.
Sure.
But, so the records are spotty. There's pretty much no records of it from the Vikings' point of view. But start of the Viking era, guys. 250 years of
I feel like the records from
excitement.
the Viking point of view would be like, hey, look what we found.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mhm.
Well, Zach, thank you.
Sure.
But I'd like to propose an alternate history of the raid at Lindisfarne. Just to touch base, we did establish in a previous episode, England has a history of ghoul infestation.
Yeah.
And,
There's also, of course, Wickerman cults all over England.
Yes. And this is true in the in the late 8th century. The plague of ghouls weighed on Britain very heavily. You couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting a ghoul, basically.
Yeah. And because of the pet cemetery situation, most of the dead cats were ghouls.
Yeah, it's true. So, yeah, you couldn't even touch a dead cat without touching a ghoul.
Yeah.
But why would you do that? Why would you touch strange cats?
Especially dead ones.
Well, because that is a long-known pastime. You
Yeah.
always hear about people swinging a dead cat.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, no, in ancient England, you did touch a cat as protection from gypsies.
Oh.
I touch strange cats frequently. Stranger danger does not apply to cats in my book.
Well, no, you are the stranger danger in that scenario, I think.
If you're not touching a strange cat, I presume you're a gypsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
And no one wants gypsies.
Right. Not even gypsies.
Yeah. They only touch cats to put thinner curses on them.
On the cats.
Yeah. Sometimes cats could lose a little weight.
Yes, yep.
Looking at you, Garfield.
Sometimes cats are fat.
Oh my god, did you see that Garfield strip where he got a thinner curse? It was my favorite run.
I'm pretty sure it definitely just played out in its entirety. The moment's up to you saying that.
Where by Friday, he's just sallow.
Yeah.
I thought I hated Mondays.
Lasagna.
He's eating all the lasagna. It's not helping.
Mm-hmm.
The people tried many remedies for the ghoul malaise that...
It's a shame.
Yeah, that's what Jimmy Carter called it.
Yeah, exactly. Ghoul Jimmy Carter.
Uh-huh.
One of these was the worship of Jesus Quick J. Christ, Lord of the Grift and inventor of three-card Monte.
Sure.
A popular pastime was to become a monk.
Sure. That's how you pass the time.
Exactly. There's
Munkin?
no other...
Munkin?
Yeah, monking around.
Get
kind
on
of
that
over-
Taking a vow of poverty and chastity
Sure.
and silence.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of over crocheting. Maybe become a monk.
Maybe I'll devote my life
Well,
to...
it's the kind of thing that you find out pretty early. You join that JV Munkin team, and you're
Yeah.
like, hey, the kid's got
true. Yeah.
got chops. He could go all the way.
Yeah, I think you gotta want it, though.
Sure,
Yeah. But
Well,
I mean, once you
some
get
people-
to college, a lot of those people just don't have the chops for college monking.
Well, they've been
Still-
so concussed.
What
Yeah.
remains? That's why that's because of that hair.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they're all
They cut
bald
their
on
hair
top.
They used to cut their hair by repeatedly bashing them
Exactly.
in the head.
Yeah.
And they cut that bald spot right in the middle. That's protection gone.
Sure.
From
Yeah.
potential head injury.
I want such protection.
But the fact remains, people make a living as a professional monk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not a fairy tale.
I mean, really, you should be encouraging people to pursue their passion.
Absolutely.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yep.
Put it on the board.
Yep.
I think that's a pun.
He's probably the most famous monk there ever was.
Probably.
That's actually probably true.
Yeah. Outside of Cuthbert.
Of course. Yeah, it's Cuthbert and
Yeah,
Tony
where's
Shalhoub.
Cuthbert's
You
fucking
can't
show?
be a monk and have a normal fucking name.
Yeah.
I would watch a show called Cuthbert. NBC.
Where he
7
solves
p.m.
crimes.
Yeah.
Cuthbert, AD.
ADPI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cloisters were built as a defense against schools. In this time, a child is born named Wolfsieg, which translates to wolf victory from Old English.
Nice.
It's the best kind of victory.
Yeah.
I hate dough victories.
Ugh.
Boring.
Buh.
I just found some leaves and ate them.
Nice try, Ado.
Give me that blood sport.
Wolfsieg!
Yeah.
Nice.
I learned a lot of Old English working on this.
Can you do an Old English accent? Hello.
Well,
what's happened to Cuthbert then? Where is he? Under this rocks?
I was going to say that I feel like Wolfsieg is something I'd want to shout anytime I'm having a moment of joy, but it sounds like the villain in a video game about Nazis a little too much.
A little bit.
Yeah, it does.
I just pictured
Or an actual Nazi.
Yeah, that too.
But more like a current Nazi. That's like the type of thing that, like, in the same way that people like build these elaborate fantasies wherein they're vampires.
Yeah.
That same kind of person. He's like, yeah,
Wolfsieg's
total
not your
Nazi.
grandpa's
Call
Nazi.
myself Wolfsieg. Yeah.
Yeah, in their live action role playing game as neo-Nazis.
Yeah. No, I think there's a culture where it's like this guy's doing it for the trance music. You know? I'm in it for the drugs, man. He's in it for the
I'm
Thor.
in it for the suspenders.
He's in it for
and
the
boots.
yeah, exactly. The suspenders and boots and the Thor's hammer pendant.
Just like, he likes that style. Like, he's not into the ideas, but the swastika, it's a nice design.
I mean, it is visually appealing.
What can you say?
That's part of the problem.
They make a good swastika.
I gotta... Form follows function, guys.
all of the people manufacturing swastikas, you got to admit, the Nazis really have it down to a craft.
That German engineering.
Oh, we gotta get out of this Nazi hole. No. Quick, everyone swim. Maybe we all swim at the same time.
I don't know if you've seen a picture of Nazi-era Germany, but marketing, they had that shit on lock. Every corner.
Yeah, their marketing game, totally on fleek.
It's like,
Boss.
if you were a tourist, like if you woke up in Nazi Germany, if you woke up in Nazi Germany, it would be like 3 seconds before you figured out where you were, because check it out, swastika fucking
immediately.
there.
The second.
Immediately.
Yeah. Totally. Like the fucking... like the first person you ask is going to turn around. They have like swastika shaped glasses on. You're like, oh,
and then they're going to bonk you on a head with a billy club.
Sure.
And you're going to wake up in Poland.
Yeah. It's like those novelty, like 2016 glasses, but with swastikas instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. That's the thing we should keep doing.
It's like 2 swastika, 7.
Which is weird because it was 1943.
Yeah. Well, again, that marketing.
1,000-year right. 1,000-year right. It was going to get there eventually.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Jump the gun. They had all these calendars ready.
What were we talking about?
bunch of Nazi cats for 2016.
Oh, man.
Don't you think you're getting ahead of yourself, Hitler? No, this is good.
It's going to be... You watch. You laugh now.
Positive visualization.
Watch, I show
it's
you.
It's the secret.
It didn't work out for the Mayans, but for me.
For me, they forgot to carry a 1. Leave me alone. I'm in the bath.
Oh, God damn.
Boy.
Wolfsieg.
Yeah. All right.
His father sold him to the monks of Lindisfarne in exchange for magic beer, which was just regular beer, but he was an alcoholic. Wolfsieg was always a darker kid growing up, but the abbot of the monastery took a shining to him because he had small hands, which were good for delicate work.
Oh, there's so many words that feel poorly chosen in that sentence.
Like,
you were given 9 words to make a sentence, and you somehow chose 11 wrong.
Like delicate monk work.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, man. My name is Delicate Monkwork. And the sequel to Monk.
I'm on Cinemax. Why am I German?
Because.
But when Wolfsieg looked out the window of his cell, he saw the goal-filled landscape of Britain.
Ugh.
And he knew that the people needed something more than the cultural preservation the monks were doing. And so he picked up his axe.
And did the most delicate work of all.
Yep, exactly.
Ghoul killing.
Ghoul. Well, by axe, I mean electric guitar, and he invented heavy metal.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, of course. There will be no repercussions for that, unintended.
No, not at all. He was performing under the name Mastodon, which was named after the nearest available food source. He used his deafening guitar riffs to make hundreds of metal songs. The monks were mostly appalled because he was, at the monastery. Yeah. He should be studying the secrets of the grift.
They liked alt-rock.
They're delicate monk work.
They're delicate, tiny monk hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they liked Father Misty.
Yeah.
John Misty, right? Is there a John in there?
Well, he was an ordained father at this point in history. Sure. But since he was the abbot's favorite, the abbot sort of indulged him and consented to let him perform a concert on June 8th, 793. His heavy metal music was unpopular among the other monks, as we've established, but the music did gain hold in Scandinavia, where the brutality appealed to the people. There was, in particular, a group of young kids who became very devoted to his music. They called themselves Vikings. They formed a gang. It was an acronym for all of their names.
Sure.
Which were
just like
Valdemar, Ingmar,
Valdemar.
Canute. Yep.
Okay. Just, all right.
Ingvar and...
Ingvar again?
Yeah. And Nate. Greg. Steve.
Nate, Greg, and Greg Nate.
Yeah. And Steve Nate's son.
So it's kind of like an NWA situation where a bunch of youngsters grew up together.
Yeah.
Getting into a new kind of sound.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when they heard of the...
Paul Giamatti managed them.
Yeah. I don't know if Paul Giamatti actually managed NWA.
Well, Paul Giamatti is...
I know what I saw.
I know what I saw. I was there. There were thousands of people with me in in the Alamo Draft House where all of history happened. When the Vikings heard of the planned concert at Lindisfarne, they stole the keys to Steve's father's longboat and sailed for the island. And they landed that on the morning of the concert. They were appalled to realize that all of the con artist monks had sold them counterfeit tickets.
What?
Yeah. Quick J. Christ.
I mean,
at work in all of us.
I can't believe they're scalping counterfeit tickets for this incredibly unpopular concert that no one wants to go to anyway.
Well, they worship Quick J.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
You live in the Lord's light.
The god of trickery.
Exactly.
That is literally a quote from our former podcast where I described Jesus as the god of trickery.
The halfling god of trickery.
Exactly. The Goblin King, I believe.
Yeah.
So they were already kind of pissed off, but then the music hits.
Sure.
And it sends them into a rage, like all heavy metal does to teenage kids.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why we outlawed it.
Right, exactly. And so they just end up, quite by accident, looting the abbey. The Vikings return to Scandinavia with plunder and stories of the great concert. And
Wicked
so
show.
the generations sail throughout Europe, plundering monasteries and towns, searching for the secrets of heavy metal. An interesting sidebar is after the destruction of the abbey, a wizard appears and says, I can clean this up. And then he's killed, so that doesn't really come to anything.
Oh, so that was
He's
just
burned
a
at the stake.
sidebar that just didn't matter?
Yeah, I mean, but the wizard did say he was from a town called Salem in the future, so that might... We are knocking off the Salem wizards one by one. Mm-hmm. Wizards and witches.
Primarily witches.
Well, primarily.
And primarily science masterminds. If you'll remember my alternate history, feel bad for that one. She went out of the frying pan and into the fire, I guess.
Yeah. If you're a scientist, probably back in time isn't the place to go.
No, yeah.
That's not going to be better.
Sure. Though forward in time might be just as dangerous. Your dangerous past science could be as a virus to them.
Jordan would like to show us a little movie called Waterworld.
Behold, the primitive scientist in our future zoo. He believes the world is
just
round.
call it zoo because we're in the present.
We call it ooze, which is future for zoo spelled backwards. What? Goodbye.
What a crazy time we live in.
He's from the super future.
We read all of our books on mirrors.
Yeah, shit gets weird in the super future.
Yeah.
The super future.
Yeah, we are from hyper future, a future within your future.
Is that a rival future of the super future?
Silence him!
Get him, non-ape.
How dare he speak of rival future?
We tolerate no questions in hyperfuture. The answers are known to us.
Oh, we already have the answers. Oh boy, those hyper futuristic tyrants.
Yeah, I played the fuck out of Super Future on my SNES.
What would you say, SNES?
That's how they pronounce it in the super
Because it sounded
future.
redundant to say super twice.
Okay, that makes sense. And of course, Hyperfuture was only available on the GameCube.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a Dreamcast thing. Nobody had a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Ugh. And Wolfsig, seeing what power loud music could wrought on the world, that doesn't agree.
Mm-hmm. Reek?
Could wreak, thank you. He puts his guitar away, and heavy metal wouldn't appear again until 1797.
1797, yeah.
Almost 1,000 years later.
Yeah.
What happened in 7? And that's when it...
Fucking
I don't know,
America
something.
happened,
We'll have
man.
to do something with that shit
That's when it
now.
returned.
Fucking George Washington brought that shit back.
I think that's like something French Revolution.
Yeah, that's about French Revolution times, yep.
Amadeus, right? Brought that shit back.
Yep, probably. The movie Amadeus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which both invented movies and revitalized
Oh,
heavy
I mean-
metal, much to the chagrin of Mozart,
I might
who was ostensibly about.
I might be thinking about Amistad.
I wish
Different thing. About to revolt on a slave ship.
I wish I could remember the name of his rival, but I can't.
Salieri.
Salieri,
Ah.
who was a fucking poser.
Yeah.
He went to all the metal shows, but he wasn't really metal.
I mean, that's exactly what drove Salieri mad in the first place, so maybe we shouldn't egg him on like that.
Yeah, he'll get back at us.
Sure. The vengeful ghost of Salieri.
Yeah, we all live in fear of it.
Every time there is music, he could be there to steal it.
He'll once again possess F. Murray Abraham and
Yeah.
have him extract his horrible vengeance on us.
Would that we could live in a time before the music stealers.
Before F. Murray Abraham.
Before the long fingers of the sound thieves plunged into our ear holes.
Quick, sound thief! Everyone cover your mouths!
Yeah, when
Cover
you
your mouths. Wait.
yeah, when YouTube released that fucking album, where were they then?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the thing that people were mad about, I guess, once.
I didn't care.
And that's the story of the raid at Lindisfarne. It was a heavy metal concert gone wrong.
Yeah.
There were many metal bands that followed, but they never really had the true spirit of metal.
No. Not like Wolfspeed or whatever. Spielgorf.
Mastodon.
Wolfsieg?
And I'm just going to go through this list because I had a bunch of Iron Age and Viking Age pun metal
Awesome.
band names.
Awesome, hit it.
Okay.
I'm totally into it.
They're all incredibly dumb.
Go.
Iron Age Maiden,
Nice.
Lowerhead,
Already good.
Gvar, Yngwie Malmsteen,
Yep.
Beowulf.
Pretty good. I'm surprised that hasn't been taken.
That actually has been that one I just
Grendel.
copied from Wikipedia's list of metal band names.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be a few that you could just transcribe straight over.
And there was Black Death, which was later forced to change its name to 100 Years War, which was later disbanded.
Yeah.
And Lamb of God, which was an all-monk band.
Sure.
So, all of those incredibly dumb, but they all count towards our pun goal.
Yeah.
That will...
Do you guys have a pun jar?
We have
We have a meter.
a pun thermometer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Once we reach, I think it's 10,000 puns, we're free from the podcast.
Nice.
So, just doing my part.
Not
I feel like
until
I've been
then.
lax the last few weeks.
I find it disturbing that the pun thermometer is not itself a pun. Like, we got to be able to hammer something out, right?
Oh, jeez.
Not punmometer, because that's...
I mean, that's pretty simple. That's the go-to. That's what you want to...
Maybe it's not a thermometer. Maybe it's a gauge. A meter.
a thermolapse.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Punistat.
Right in. Right in,
Listeners,
folks.
Submit your...
Please stop this,
You
listeners.
realize that
You
this
can
is...
put an end to this right now.
This is the final test. You'll get to your 10,000 pun level, and then
Exactly.
the Lord High Pun Master will come down and
In
say,
this text-based RPG, this is the final level.
"You missed the point, and you missed the punt entirely." He'll say, "Puntirely."
And you'd be like, that's just a word in and of itself. I don't
Shut
understand
up.
what you mean.
Now it's 20,000.
I am banished. And he
Now,
disappears
away to the hyperfuture.
into the phantasm lands.
Even further into the future, to the benign future. Not much happens
to
here.
the Neververse.
Not much happens here on future Gallagher's Corners.
It's
Would it be-
hot here today.
Would it
but
be
it's hot
Gallagher's
here every
future
day.
corners?
Yeah, or that. Take your pick.
All things are possible in the Gallagher's Corners verse. Gallagher's Corners is the crossroads of space and time.
Why are you not chewing on a straw, Outlander?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And of course, Gallagher's Corners was named in 1985 when it was first discovered.
No, it was named at the dawn of speech. It was only in 1985 all of the words finally made sense.
The words caught up to the primordial
Exactly.
language.
Exactly. There was
It was
finally a
destined.
dialect that could make sense of it.
Man's tongue could finally speak the words Gallagher's Corners.
Gallagher's Corners meant nothing until then.
An a priori town.
A man would speak it and then silence would only follow. Echoing throughout time. And that's the alternate history. So Jordan, you are in a role as judge. Mm-hmm. You can cast a vote on air.
Okay.
Or you could throw it to the audience vote.
Oh, see, I really want to do that because I think it's up to them.
Yeah, you
to
love
decide.
democracy. It's caucus. Spoiler alert! It's caucus day.
It is
today.
Caucus Day, and I think we should be celebrating that. However, as a listener, because I listened to the whole thing, do I also get to cast a vote?
You do.
Here's the thing:
Yeah.
I'm casting my vote for the original history of Lindisfarne, and here's why.
Yeah.
2 reasons. Number 1, the inherent comic value of when they picked up the guy who thought it was his ride is too fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Great.
To not imagine them taking him back for 4 years and doing whatever to him just because he got in the wrong fucking lift. And number 2,
And the guy's like, it's a living.
number 2, the ghoul problem in England, notwithstanding, because we all know that is that happened. It's fascinating
There.
piece of history. This one had a dragon.
Yeah.
Somehow.
With Nas on it.
That's true.
Well, I don't know if that's...
I mean, I looked at those records pretty heavily, and I'm pretty sure they were talking about Nas.
Okay, they didn't mention that Nas was not there, I guess.
Exactly.
So...
And it's the comedy factor. It's the dragon factor. Yours did have a wizard,
Yeah.
but
We've already established that at least super scientists exist.
you almost had me with the wizard. I got to tell you, I was like,
But then,
I think I'm leaning towards the original history.
That was a cameo at best.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. I was like, oh, a wizard's here, and it's gonna be everything.
And then
to
someone
me.
just came up with a rock and was like,
killed
fucking
him.
see you later,
Killed him.
wizard.
Because wizard does trump dragon,
We all know this.
but
In the famous game of Wizard Dragon
Sure.
Magistrate.
wizard dragon remote control, ear of corn.
There's 16 items in this game.
Did you ever see that the ultimate paper rock scissors? It's like 32 fucking gestures. But that is my vote. I cast it to the people to vote, and I would like to hear what the ultimate decision is
All right.
by mail, if possible.
By mail?
Yeah.
You can mail that to me. I will send you my address over a private message. You can cast your vote also at revisionistpodcast.com. While you're there, you can also leave us a comment or ask us a question or suggest a future topic. And while you're on your computer box, you should also consider writing a review for iTunes, which is very helpful. You can also follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook. Jordan, you will be leaving Denver pretty soon for LA.
Yeah.
Are you
Just getting ready.
I just
getting in
realized
LA
that
spirit.
it's 8:09, and after 8 p.m. I become Night Jordan.
Of course, I saw the change happen.
I
It
become,
was
you know what?
extremely unnerving.
You know what? Club Jordan. That's Club Jordan. After 8 p.m., I become Club Jordan.
Right,
He
okay.
goes, yeah,
Which is Jordan with bacon and Swiss.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
three pieces of bread.
yeah.
Yeah, he has those little glasses with the slats in them.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the Venetian shade
Yeah.
glasses that were in a
That one Kanye West
Oh,
video
hang
a
on.
while ago.
what was the movie called? Summer School. I was going to say, what's the movie called where they go to summer
Summer
school?
School.
No, I'm an idiot.
I haven't seen that movie, but
Sorrow and Pity.
I assume the plot is that some greedy developer wants to buy the summer school and they have to come together.
No.
No.
You know what? I think you can do this, though. Will you take one more crack at what you think summer school is about? Let's really
'Cause I
think
think
about it.
three
I think this is doable.
Okay. Let's see. The kids
Yeah.
in summer school.
Perfect.
So far, so good. I'm batting 1,000.
Uh-huh.
There's got to be an overbearing teacher who is trying to take their summer away. They need to get away to get out of summer school as quickly as possible so they can enjoy their summer vacation.
No, quite the opposite. You were really close, though. It was the teacher is...
Wait, quite the opposite. You're really close.
No.
The teacher's the
The
protagonist?
teacher is the protagonist. He's a cool guy who
He's trying to connect to these kids.
trying to connect with these kids.
Oh, God damn
man.
it.
And you know what? I'm not going to tell you if he does or not. You have to go back and watch the amazing.
I mean, with a name like Summer School, I imagined a bikini car wash in it.
That's what I
no,
thought too, but
no.
no. I mean, now
There's
I'm
some
thinking,
bikini
there's a lot more
action.
inspirational.
Some bikini.
There's a buxom, I think Brazilian summer school student who, or like an exchange student, which always seems like a real bummer to me. It's like, I came from Brazil. It's like, oh, we don't have school right now. You can go to summer
I
school
kind of hope
Yeah,
that
you-
this.
with the rejects.
You should have planned better.
Yeah.
I kind of hope this teacher doesn't connect and they have like a Bad News Bears ending and they all just have shitty lives. They don't get into college.
Man.
They turn to drugs and crime.
Yeah. One of them works at a car wash. One of them goes to prison.
One of them works at drugs. The other one works at
But
crime.
one of them, like, it's really popular.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
writes a
their LinkedIn.
best-selling novel.
Yeah.
And everybody's envious of that guy.
And then they
kind of resent him.
cut his head off.
They kill him, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a murder. An
And then
on-screen
boom,
murder.
somebody's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cannibal Holocaust.
And then in the sequel, it's like And I Know What You Did Last Summer revenge movie, Summer School 2,
Yeah.
The Reckoning.
I know what you did last summer school.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was right there for the taking.
Right there on a silver platter.
Right on the I know what you did last summer school's tree.
I mean,
A
the fruit was
golden,
hanging, and it was so-
dripping with ambrosia, nectar.
I think those are pesticides, Jordan.
Oh, my eyes have gone crossed. Oh no, my pupils are
But
a
it's
rich
so delicious.
tartan.
My eyes have...
My eye color is now argyle.
I know the woes of Tantalus in the pit.
No, I can see the future. Oh no, it's the hyper future.
No.
My eyes.
Why did I eat that fruit?
This is a great story, guys. Let's develop this.
I think we
Thing's
just
got
did.
legs.
Workshop
To
it.
be
This
fair.
thing has got legs.
One more draft and we're good.
Just one weekend and we could hammer out the Summer School 2 sequel.
You know what would be the perfect ending to this podcast? Is if my car started getting towed.
And you just
Oh,
ran out of the
shit!
room and the podcast cut.
No, and you guys are like, well, thanks for coming. That was my impression of you guys, by the way. Hi, y'all.
I've been
I made
working.
a peach cobbler.
You know how hard I've been working to hide my accent, Jordan. It's really rude.
Not hard enough.
It comes back under stress.
Here's my sweet potato lemonade.
Welcome to Gallagher's Corner.
Such a hot day here in Gallagher's Corners.
Oh, mercy.
Oh, man.
We don't get
Gallagher's-
many gentlemen
I fear I'm
callers
getting
around here.
papers.
Gallagher's Corners itself is a loop, doubling back on itself all over and over again.
This is where time folds in upon itself like Ouroboros.
God damn it. Oh.
Hot out today.
Every day is the hottest day of the year in Gallagher's Corners.
You've already said this. Ouroboros.
And we'll say it again.
Oh, another hit, another scanners.
Don't make Billy angry. He'll send you to the cornfields.
You don't want to grow up in Gallagher. Anyway. Jordan, you're in town for a couple more months.
I am.
And anyone...
I'm not. I'm leaving
About a
the end
month.
of this month. 28 days and counting.
Oh, I thought you were leaving at the end of March.
No, February 28th, I think I'll be out of town.
Listeners, if you get a chance to see him, you should take it because, Jordan, you've always been my favorite Denver stand-up.
Well, thanks, man.
And I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Well, thank you.
My third favorite.
Perfect. Who are the first two? Hyper Jordan, that bastard. Super Jordan, the monster.
Super Jordan's
Super
a little
Jordan,
edgy for me, to be honest with you.
He is a hero.
Just works blue all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super racist, actually.
It's more of an ultramarine, really.
God damn it.
I work in blues.
Stick around for the 11 o'clock.
Yeah, his robotic monotone also really affects his delivery, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Colors only I can see.
What's the deal with the inverted sky?
Hyper Jordan, he works schloo.
Remember when there
I'm
was
working that one.
oceans?
That's what open mics are for. Zach, you are the co-host also on Stage of Fools podcast.
Sure I am.
Comes out every week.
Yep. Sundays.
You just started talking about season 2 of The Royals, I believe.
Correct.
All right. And as for me, I'll be competing in the first round of the stand-up showdown at the Denver Improv February 17th. So that's something to check out because there are a lot of fantastic people on that show. Jordan, thank you for joining us.
Hell yeah. Sorry, Club Jordan.
Club Jordan, he comes out.
Club Jordan also, thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking time out of your important...
What?
I wish you wouldn't pop E during the podcast, but you gotta do what you gotta do, Club
I have
Jordan.
very little control over Club Jordan. I kind of just read out.
They won't let him in many clubs anymore.
I'm changing! I'm changing!
Chain me up
Please help! What?
for your own protection.
Hurry before the beat drops!
God damn it. Zach, thank you as always for joining us.
Yep.
For everyone here at The Revisionist, I'm Brian Flynn.
I'm Zach Powers.
Have a good night.